Hello beautiful warriors, this is Tamara Cuchi right here, and I'm here to just talk to you about life and all the questions I get. So we're going to start talking about self-discipline because this is something that comes up a lot with all my beautiful warriors. The question is, how do I get disciplined and how do I stay motivated? I get asked all sorts of questions, but this one really attracted me and captured my attention because this is a quite deceiving one. If you Google self-discipline, it'll come up all these different tactics that are very strategic. You know, making vision boards and organizing yourself and all these plans and tactics, all these mind things to do to reorganize and discipline yourself. Which in reality, everything that we do, let me say that again, everything that we do stems from deep inside our emotional selves. We do what we feel. Our actions are a direct path to how we feel about ourselves. And so it will always come back to self-love and self-worth. But before I keep going around in circles and circles, let's go way back to my story. I share my stories with you in a very vulnerable and real way because they're what I know. We all speak and live through our personal truths, our personal experiences, our memories. And these memories get stored in our body. And then this is what we do and how we perceive the world. And so really I can only speak for myself. And in doing so, I hope that somehow my story identifies with your story and we can find something that inspires us. My story of self-discipline started way back when I was 5 years old. I was a really tough child. I had a lot of opinions, I had a lot of passion, and I had a lot of energy. So my mother put me in gymnastics. And it gave me a place to fight, somewhere where the fight would be of value and not of destruction. This fight took me a long way, all the way to the Olympic Games at age 15. I competed for the United States of America, and I just remember it being not a lovely experience because my path there was quite difficult, you know, blood, sweat, and tears, the way you see it in the movies. But I remember the feeling of, I did it. I can still cry today thinking about it because it's so ingrained in my body memory. And that I did it wasn't, I won. The I did it was, I accomplished what I came here to do. And I did it through all this sacrifice and all this discipline. And what I understood at this moment was, the reason I felt so in tune with it, as I still do today, because maybe you can still see the tears coming from my eyes, is because it was such an immense amount of two things: gratitude and self-love. And I never really thought about self-love growing up. I was just, doing what I needed to do to get the job done. But in the moment of succeeding, I understood that it all came from a place of complete self-love and self-worth. Because if not, how else could I have been through all the things that I had to go through to get to that point? What I went through was really difficult. I was starved, I was abused verbally, 10-hour practices, very little sleep, and I could go on and on. The story of an Olympic athlete is never an easy one. And no one forced me to do this. This all came from my own self-will. And that self-will was knowing that I could, was completely believing in myself. And this is self-love, the belief in oneself, the appreciation for oneself, the knowledge of knowing that I deserve to be the best that I can be. Discipline is self-love. Discipline is the action of self-love. Because I love myself, I do. Because I love myself, I stay motivated. Because I love myself, I attempt in every moment, in every action, in every word, in every feeling, in every thought to be the best me that I can possibly be for myself. It always comes from you. So then this takes us to the next question. But what if I don't love myself? How do I love myself? So we see how a topic such as self-discipline actually roots much, much deeper. Every single situation that you question will always root to something very deep inside of you. And this is when we have to begin to deconstruct and get real with ourselves. There is no hiding from yourself. You have to live with you 24/7. And until you get real with yourself, you're always going to come into confrontation. I mean, ultimately, we're trying to get to a place of peace, love, happiness. A place where we can wake up in the morning and say, hey, this is a beautiful day. And the only way to do that is to feel good in oneself because you can't escape this body in this lifetime. So let's address the self-love.